in the midnight grass, secrets buried deep. Every tale is a doorway, every shadow knows my name. If you dare to follow me, you step inside the strange. I am Mr. Strange, where the dark meets the real, where the ghosts of old Liverpool breathe and reveal. From the parks to the docks, where the lost souls roam. If you listen to the night, you'll know you're not alone.
When people buy a house, they see bricks, paint, and square footage. They picture family dinners, quiet nights, and a future they can shape with their own hands. What they really think about is who lived there before. Every home has a past. Some are filled with laughter, others with loss, and some quietly have witnessed things never written down. Fear, waiting, final moments that soaked into the walls long before new keys ever changed hands. A house doesn't forget. It remembers footsteps on stairs long since replaced. It remembers voices that called out and were never answered. And sometimes when a new family moves in and begins to tear at the bones of the building, ripping walls, lifting floors, disturbing what was buried, those memories wake up. Most haunted houses don't announce themselves with screams or shadows. They begin with small things, a movement you explain away, a sound you ignore, a feeling that tells you you're not alone, even when you should be. This is the true account of a home in Old Swan, a house with a staircase that remembers running feet, a house that was never truly empty, and a family who learned too late that when you move into a house, you may not be moving in alone. In 2003, Jason and his new wife Kelly bought an old house in Old Swan. The exact location will not be spoken aloud. If the road itself preferred to be forgotten, the place was in a state of disrepair. Floors ripped up, wallpaper peeling, damp patches creeping across the walls like bruises. But it was theirs. Family and friends rallied round them, and with half of Kelly's relatives being in the trades, they felt confident. The place would soon become a warm family home rather than a wreck. One afternoon, Jason left his dad and brother scraping the walls in the living room while he drove to B&Q for some more supplies. When he returned, his cousin had arrived to see the new house. The two of them walked to the front door together. The old wooden door always stuck, and Jason had to force the key, shoulder pressed against the handle. As the door finally gave way, it swung open to reveal the staircase immediately behind it, narrow, steep, and half lit by a faint grey light from the landing window. His cousin stood right behind him, almost breathing over his shoulder. And as the door opened, both men froze. Something, or rather someone, bolted up the stairs. Jason's brain refused to process it. It was too fast, too sudden. All he saw was a pair of legs, no torso, no head, sprinting up the staircase. His body reacted before his mind did. He burst into the living room, heart pounding. Who's just gone up the stairs? He demanded. His dad and brother stared back at him, confused. No one had passed them. No one else was in the house. Jason ran back into the hallway. His cousin was still rooted to the spot, mouth hanging open in shock, eyes fixed on the stairs. Without speaking, Jason tore up the staircase, flinging open each bedroom door in turn. Empty, silence, dust. When he came back down, his cousin finally found his voice. I've just seen a pair of legs run up the stairs, he muttered. But the exact same time, Jason said the same words. Two men, one a long-serving British Army veteran, the other a career firefighter, both certain of what they'd seen. His younger brother then admitted something quietly. When Jason had left earlier, he'd seen movement through the spindles of the staircase. A shape, a flicker. He dismissed it as imagination. That was the first incident. The gas engineer. Weeks later, Jason arranged for a gas engineer to move the meter. He told him the front door key would be under the tree. Let yourself in, get the job done. I'll be home after work. When Jason returned that evening, he didn't find the man inside the house. He found him in his van, shaking. The colour had drained from his face. Jason tapped on the window. You all right, mate? The engineer swallowed hard and stepped out. His hands were trembling. He explained that he'd been working under the stairs. Kneeling for so long, his back began to ache, so he leaned back to stretch, and his eyes drifted to the staircase, through the gaps between the spindles. A woman, glowing white, was floating down the stairs, not walking, gliding. Her face was twisted, hollow, almost mournful, yet furious at the same time. He said the instant their eyes met, his heart hammered so violently he thought he might collapse. The figure suddenly stopped at the bottom step, turned sharply, and drifted back upward, dissolving into a white mist at the landing. He dropped his tools, left everything where it fell, and ran. I'm sorry, he told Jason, but whatever's in that house, it's not right, mate. So I just thought you needed to know. Sorry, mate. Jason tried to keep the incidents from Kelly. The house had swallowed their savings. If she knew what was happening, she'd never stay. One night, he was working late alone. There was no fire installed yet, just an empty hearth and cold brickwork. As he swept the floor, something caught his eye near the fireplace, a shimmering in the air like heat rising from a road in summer. He stepped closer. The shimmer felt ice cold. He reached out and something grabbed his wrist. Not air, not imagination, a hand unseen but painfully real. Clamped on so tightly he stumbled backwards, desperate to break free. He bolted toward the living room door. It slammed shut in his face with a violent crack. He fought the handle, but something on the other side was pulling it away from him. The metal twisted against his palm, and then silence. Jason never told Kelly. Months passed without incident. The couple began to relax. Maybe it was all in their heads. One night, Jason was in the shower while Kelly lay reading in bed. A single, heavy wooden coat hanger hung from the wardrobe handle. A faint tapping sound made her look up. The hanger was moving, gently at first, then Violently, she screamed. Jason rushed from the bathroom, still dripping, towel barely hanging on, just in time for the wooden hanger to launch across the bedroom, whistling past his head. They didn't sleep in the house that night, or the next. Their parents' home suddenly felt safer. Jason finally confessed everything. He'd been hiding. Kelly was furious and terrified. But something else happened that night. She told him she was pregnant. Fear, joy, shock all at once. They needed answers. Kelly searched old archives. During World War II, the house had been commandeered by the Ministry of Defense. The back garden had once contained an anti-aircraft gun emplacement. The land had seen soldiers, gunfire, fear, and perhaps loss. During the renovations, Jason had disturbed countless relics. A buried concrete air shelter, spent .303 Lee Enfield cartridges, a British Army bed frame in the loft, a soldier's uniform folded away, forgotten by time. Something had slept there, something had hidden there, something had never left. But the woman, she remained a mystery. A widow waiting for a soldier who never came home, a nurse who never escaped the bombing, or something, someone tied to the house long before the war. Jason and Kelly chose not to fight it anymore. They spoke aloud to the spirit, promised respect, and declared the house their home. Shared, not claimed. The activity never fully stopped, but it changed. It watched, it lingered, it stayed. December 2025, a freezing night. The air sharp with frost. Jason and Kelly were unloading shopping bags from the car. Kelly asked if he'd locked it, and they both turned back to check. That was when both of them seen it. A mist shaped like a human figure, clear as breath on glass, standing by the car, motionless. It held its form for 10, maybe 15 seconds. Then it drifted upwards and vanished into the dark. Whoever or whatever lives in that house is still there, and Jason and Kelly, they are brave enough or stubborn enough to live with it. Because some homes aren't just made of brick and wood. Some are built on memory, on war, on unfinished stories, and some spirits never leave. I am Mr. Strange, and this has been another tale from Liverpool's haunted past.